back to another very exciting episode of Modern Motors. Today, we're back with the 4C. We are trying to get it started. We're trying to get it on to see if we've overpaid or underpaid. We'll know a little bit better if this car turns on or not. I know you guys aren't really messing with the CA content. However, I still think for the bang for the buck, especially for the price we paid for it, it's a really good car. So while we're fixing up the 4C, I'm going to give you unsolicited C8 propaganda up until the car's done. And then we'll switch over to the 4C. But I'll be driving this around because Crystal is taking the FRS every day. So I have the C8 here. Truly what I think is going to make or break this build at this point is our overall cost invested. Yes, we got it at a really cheap price point, but that means nothing if we have to invest too much to get it up to par. And I think right now, figuring out if the motor is even turning on is going to be our biggest factor to know if we under or overpaid. Regardless of, I trust TNT and Teddy and Ali to fix the motor if it, obviously things aren't going right. But it's just, more money into the project that we don't want to put into it. And we're hoping everything is, running properly.
Purchasing Starbucks. What can I get started for you?
Hi there, I'm just picking up a mobile order for Ricardo.
Yeah, we'll see you at the window front.
Thanks.
Thank you.
For those of you who forgot or just didn't watch the series, we only picked up the C8 for $30,000, and for the price point, it's literally given us no problems since. I was kind of hoping the 4C was going to be a little bit like this, but this has been a phenomenal purchase. I would buy this car 10 times over. I think even at the price point of, let's say, 45, 50 to 60, whatever you're paying for these things not crashed, I think it's a really good value for the car. Again, unsolicited C8 propaganda. I think it's a great car for the price point. Again, it's not going to be as like when you talk about rarity and spec, everyone's driving one around, which really works out for our business as we're going to attempt to start developing parts for this. But the CA is power wise, drivability wise, maintenance wise, a really good car, a really good bang for your buck. And at $30,000, I would argue that there's no better car than this car if you're looking for a two-seater sports car, entry-level sports car. I think this is a really good option. Can't beat it. I'm gonna get my coffee. We're gonna head over to TNT and go say hi to Teddy and drop a new battery in this vehicle. All right, how do we get this top off? Ah, okay. I figured out how to take it off. Reverse, auto, neutral. Ew. Everything's sticky in here. There you go. Just like new. You're wasting money, man. All right, we're gonna swap out the batteries. We're gonna start with the 13 mil down here. Taking this 10 mil off. This should be a quick release. Crank it. Hell yeah, brother. Click it over. It is. Fuel pump?
Doesn't have gas. Did you bring your computer? Mm-hmm. No.
Try it again. I'm gonna try to crank it. Try to crank it. You put the fuel pump back on?
Yeah. What's the gas?
Yeah.
What's the gas as you do that?
I am.
Like pump it or like pump it.
Today we are back with the 4C and we're with Koopa.
Yeah.
What is up, dude? He's about to see the 4C. Look at Teddy putting all his parts on the car. We're gonna try to get this started today. This is what an abandoned 4C looks like. Yeah. So there's that damage. There's the side skirt damage, which I think we lost part of that side skirt somewhere. It doesn't look horrible.
It's a work of art, honestly.
They're cool cars.
My name is Bryce. I run the Goopa Julia page. This is my first time, I guess, doing a little vlog and collaboration. And a little bit of background. I just graduated in December 24, got a real job working. And before I even had any money, I was watching this guy's YouTube videos, tutorials, and everything in between on reviews for the Alfa Romeo Giulia. And it's like a full circle moment going from a classroom with no money to having an Alfa, and now we're buying some lowering springs from him, and we're getting the whole Giulia 2.0 community together, and we're gonna see you guys at Alpha Fest. So
Yes.
also he's sponsoring that, so huge shout out once again to Ricky.
This is cylinder 1.
Those look brand new.
You do? Oh, yeah, look bad.
They don't look good.
No, they're not bad.
This is the worst guy to do content with. I brought him the Corvette. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm gonna go get a tire. I'll be right back. By the time I came back, the whole car was down. I'm like, bro, what the we have no content here.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, with me, your before is your before, then your after when the car's done. That's it.
I'm like, bro, you work too fast.
We decided to go ahead and, you know, try to start the 4C. I told Ricky, I was like, before anything, before we throw any even just spark plugs, doing oil change, just your regular maintenance stuff, I was like, why don't we do a compression test? And the bad news is that cylinder 1 right now is below 100 PSI. So, but still, I mean, we never know. It could be maybe the, you know, the piston rings are stuck just because it's been sitting for forever. Because all the other 3 cylinders, they were around still like around 140, between 140 to 145 PSI. So we're gonna check to see what else is next. So, but as of right now, the bad news is cylinder 1 is below 100 PSI on compression. So we'll see.
You got my computer?
Is it the one plugged in right here, the laptop?
It's a silver one, yeah.
Yeah. You want me to unplug it or bring it the whole thing?
Yeah.
Gotcha. There we go.
Thank you.
There's the...
Try it again, Ricky. Let it go. Let it go. Ricky, I don't have any coils, bro.
I think we just QV swap it right now.
Yeah.
We got all the parts back there.
I'm sure that'll make a lot of people pretty happy.
Easy
Ahí
fix.
está bien. Ya. Ah, Ricky. Something told me to let's do that first.
It's been a hell of a day.
You know, there's another day in paradise. All right, it is a new day. Pretty sure, or we're pretty sure, that it may be related to the key. The key is not even letting it ignition on or turn on. It's saying that it doesn't recognize the key. We didn't know if it was like the key or if it was the ring around the key. So we ordered a key. Unfortunately, I'm not like a big YouTuber. I can order something overnight, and Alpha parts are a little hard to get. So we're not going to get the key until like August 2nd. We are going to try one last thing in a few days to try to reprogram the key that we currently have with multi-ECU scan, but that's like a hit or miss. Most likely that's probably not going to work. But we bought a new key, and we will try the new key when it gets here. The next video with this car, we're most likely going to start stripping it down, taking off the fender, the front bumper, and everything, so we can send it off to paint, so I at least can start getting body worked. If you guys haven't seen, like this piece right here came off of here. And we are going to see if Delira can fix this and put this together, because unfortunately for this piece, what we found out the hard way is this is all one piece. This is all pretty much like the lower side skirt and like part, kind of like the quarter a little bit, which obviously is going to be very expensive. I think they're like $1,500, and I don't see any of the right hands for sale. So we're hoping that we can fix that versus, versus replace that. Yeah. Bye. You leaving? That's the current status. I wish we had a little bit of a better update. But this is part of the process and the journey. We knew that there's potential to have a little bit of starting issues. The car is also on top of everything. Been sitting since 2022, which also adds a different layer of trying to source where, things could have possibly went wrong. We don't know if the car stopped starting right after the accident or if it hasn't been starting because it's been sitting. So just little annoying things to try to figure out what's going on with the car. But I think that's enough for this update. We will see you guys in the next one. The next video will be a Julia video, and then we're going to kick right back over here to the 4C content. Before I end the video, Greg and Jason from Alfissimo have been helping me kind of work through this and try to figure out what's been wrong with the car. And Landon at Momentum has been really great. Really appreciate having the resources to kind of bounce things off people, because when we hooked up the Altel scanner, it didn't even pick up this car. So multi-ECU scan and having people kind of give us some feedback on what we could possibly be doing to get into the car. The next thing I think Greg recommended is to take off the rear quarter panel and start checking like the grounds, which is another reason why we're going to start taking panels off, and that will be into the next video. But shout out for all the support that we've had so far, everyone who's watched, liked the videos, and we will see you guys in the next one. We truly appreciate the support, and bye. You think we should K24 swap it? Tell the channel you want to K24 swap it.
Yeah.
So they can get mad at you when we do it. Not me. This wasn't my idea.
K24 swap and throw those slicks on them.
I think it would be a good time. I don't think the channel will like us very much. Don't let Teddy fool you into thinking that he does all the labor for free. I just worked today on cars that weren't even no fun cars. I told him I charge $120 an hour. He didn't believe me.
Remember when we started, I used to park right here.
Yeah, you don't have. Look at Teddy's popular. He's got way too many cars out here now.